This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Introduction. There is no globally agreed definition of bullying. Tatum defines bullying as the desire to hurt or put someone under pressure. Bullying is the most malicious and malevolent form of deviant behavior widely practiced in schools, and yet it has received only scant attention from national and local authorities. Vast bullying cases occur on school premises, and most students in playgrounds are affected. It is, therefore, vital to understand better the interactions and activities of students in schools in order to place specific behaviors like bullying into context. Over the past 2 decades, there has been a growing awareness of bullying in schools. Research in this area, inspired by the work of Alwius in Scandinavia, has done much to focus attention on the characteristics of bullies and victims. A good deal of research on bullying in schools has developed around a concern with the personality and other individual attributes of bullies and the victims. This is vital but can sometimes obscure the situational and social influences on bullying behaviors. The fact is that most bullying in schools goes undetected for the excellent reason that the victims are too terrified to report their suffering for fear of reprisals, which can often be brutal. The characteristics which typify a student who is regularly bullied are known to us. Once a student has fallen foul of the bullying menace and demonstrates that he will not split, the bullying becomes more intense, and the ensuing terror increases. Social influences of bullying behaviors. Much has been written about the reciprocal interplay among the individual, family, peer group, school, community, and cultural influences on human behavior. Social dominance theory, demographics, and school and family characteristics are powerful factors that affect the behavior of bullying in schools. Social dominance theory. A social biological or evolutionary perspective offers a view of peer harassment through the social dominance theory. The theory helps us to understand that the behavior of bullying has to do with the bully-victim interaction with the individual who bullies. According to Pellegrini and Long, social dominance theory is harassing or bullying behavior which occurs to force someone into a position of submission, which can especially be seen in boys during the transition from primary to secondary schools as they figure out the new social hierarchy. According to this theory, the evidently stronger students in any school will tend to dominate over the weaker ones. This is the core reason why physical bullying has to do with the size and strength of an individual subjecting his colleagues to bullying. The theory helps us to understand why the more vital members of the school population are likely to rule over the weaker members of the school, as described in the social hierarchy concept in theory. For example, within-group aggression can occur in the context of the school as a whole, a grade within the school, a particular classroom within a grade, or a friendship group. One clear method of establishing social hierarchies and status within groups is through the use of aggression. Perhaps aggressive students are admired by peers because rather than threatening group cohesion, they actually promote a clear hierarchical organization within the groups. This theoretical approach sheds some light on why the aggressive victim group of students is so disliked and rejected by classmates. These are the students who can destabilize the hierarchy, thus making individual group members feel uncomfortable. Aggressive students have been found to attack both weaker and stronger individuals, whereas pure bullies most frequently bully weaker students. Social dominance theory provides a rationale for the occurrence of peer harassment across the lifespan. However, an evolutionary developmental approach to this theory can explain why using peer harassment as a means to establish social hierarchies might be especially prevalent and essential during adolescence. Demographics and bullying. Demographic factors such as family, self-esteem, peers, ethnicity, and socioeconomic status also impact bullying behavior in schools. students who portray low self-esteem are usually at significant risk of being bullied and being forced to submit to aggressive individuals. However, it must be pointed out that self-esteem is not the critical factor that causes a student to be victimized. There is simply a correlation between low self-esteem and being bullied. The way children are taken care of by their parents is also a contributing factor to bullying behaviors in schools. According to Wang et al., higher parental involvement led to children being less involved in all forms of bullying. Wang et al. Also note that parents who have overprotective behaviors for their children and are also over-involved in their children's affairs predispose their children to bully victimization at school. Friendship also affects bullying behaviors in schools. A student with more friends is likely to be less physically, verbally, and relationally bullied. On the other hand, a student with few friends is more likely to be physically, verbally, and relationally bullied. Socioeconomic status is also a factor that leads to bullying behaviors in schools. A survey by the National Association of Health Education Centers 2004 found that students from low socioeconomic status families in Black Hispanic schools were more likely to be bullies. A high correlation exists between being a bullying victim and the socioeconomic status of the student's family. Du et al. Assert that adolescents who attend schools with larger economic inequality among students, and adolescents who live in countries with larger economic inequality, are at elevated risk of being victims of bullying. School and family characteristics associated with bullying. Because school culture varies by individual schools and school climate is created by staff and student attitudes, it logically follows that school and family characteristics are linked to bullying and victimization. A study by Kasen and Cohen helps us understand bullying at the school level. Through their study, these authors reveal to us the impact of school climate on the intersection of personality and bullying. They concluded that bullied students perceive less social support from their peers, and bullied students perceive less social support from parents and teachers. Conclusion. The role of social support must be an essential contextual factor in bullying prevention and intervention programming. The research base regarding bullying has grown exponentially since Dan Alwius pioneering intervention research in the late 19th century. However, the field is still in a relatively early phase of development. Several types of measures have been developed to assist school professionals in monitoring the progress of bullying interventions. It is recommended that practitioners and educators work together to identify a set of measures for determining the most effective school-based bully-based prevention programs. If you want to find more works like this research paper on social influence on bullying in schools, head over to ivpanda.com. It has a collection of samples with thousands of submissions covering virtually all academic subjects.